In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to remove grid lines in Google Sheets. If you're building a dashboard, preparing a presentation, or just want a cleaner, more minimal look, turning off grid lines can make your sheet look polished and easier to read. Start by opening Google Sheets in your browser and loading the spreadsheet you want to adjust. You can use an existing file or a new blank sheet. This setting works the same either way. Once your sheet is open, look to the top menu bar. You'll see options like File, Edit, View, and so on. Click View to open the display settings for your sheet. Inside that menu, find the Show section. This area controls visual helpers that appear on your canvas. Hover over or open Show and you'll see an option labeled Grid Lines. By default, it's checked. Click Grid Lines to uncheck it. The moment you do, those faint gray lines that separate each cell will disappear from the current sheet, leaving you with a clean, borderless canvas that's great for layouts, charts, and text blocks. A quick note on what this does and doesn't change. Disabling grid lines hides the default background lines, but it does not remove cell borders you've manually added. If you still see lines after turning off grid lines, those are likely borders. You can remove borders using the border tool if needed, but that's separate from the grid line setting. Also, this change applies per sheet tab. If your file has multiple tabs and you want all of them to be grid line free, repeat the same toggle on each tab you plan to use. If you ever want the grid lines back, just return to View, open the Show section again, and click Grid Lines to recheck it. Everything will snap back into the familiar grid, which can be helpful when you're editing data or aligning content precisely. A couple of tips to keep things smooth. Turning off grid lines is purely a visual preference for on-screen editing. It's handy when you're arranging charts, images, or headers without visual distractions. If your sheet still looks busy, check for borders or background colors that create a similar appearance. And if you collaborate with others, let them know this view preference is set per sheet, so they can toggle it on or off based on their needs. That's all there is to it. Open your sheet, go to View, head into Show, and toggle grid lines. Simple, fast, and instantly cleaner.